everybody, this is Chris from Harmony. Thank you for joining me today. This video is going to be about making some gift bags, paper gift bags. It's going to be very useful for Christmas, but it can also be very useful for a birthday or any kind of gift you want to put inside. So you can make these any size you want depending on your object you want to put in. And I would recommend using some sturdy enough paper that if you put something that is heavy, it's not going to rip apart. It's not going to rip your paper and it's not going to fall down from here. So you can make them any size you want if you have just a regular paper, a big one or a small sheet. This one, for example, which is quite big, was made with a sheet that is 8.5 by 11, a regular piece of paper, letter size. And if you do it this way, it ends up being like a little over 7 inches by almost 4 inches, and here I've done something that is about 1.5 inches. That's the width of it. So it's a pretty big bag, so you can put a lot of things here. You could put also a tie for a man, just fold it in half. If you change the colors, that would be nice. And this one is about the same, a little under. This was a little piece of paper, and this was with just using a scrap piece of paper. I wanted to do a little box because you can put some jewelry in here for a person. And I've done this little tag with some leftover. Here it's coordinated on the back, and here you can put to, from, or the name of the person. I think it's cute when you do little baggies and little tags. I like when it's small and miniature. I don't know why. I think it's cuter. And you don't need a lot of materials. So what you will need for this project are paper, any kind of paper, double-sided or not, it does depend on what you have, ribbons, scissors or a trimmer, whatever the brand is, a ruler, and you will need a bone folder. This is very important because it's going to help you fold and crease your paper very well. These are the main elements you will need. And you can use other embellishments if you want to. So let's start. Here I have a piece of paper that is 6 by 12, 6 inches by 12, and it's just one-sided. Okay, the other side is white, and we're going to work on this side first. So, and you have to do this a few times to see how big it's going to be depending on the size. So this is just 6 by 12 to give you an idea on what's the result, the end result is going to be. So you're going to fold it, for example, this way. Okay, this is going to be the height of my box, and that's going to be the width. So it's going to be quite short, but it's going to be large. It can be very useful. So whatever the size of your paper, it's always the same way that we're going to make it. You're not going to fold it completely in half. You're going to leave a little gap here. Okay, about, I don't know, it's about, you can make it 1/2 inch or a little over. It's a little over an inch. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5/8. It doesn't really matter. I just maybe going to do it a little smaller. This is going to be good. Okay, about 1/2 inch will be nice. And then you're going to crease it here very well. The thicker the paper, the more difficult it's going to be to fold and crease your paper. So take that and have that in mind. Okay, the thicker, the more difficult it's going to be to crease. Then you're going to take a ruler, line it up with this piece of paper on top, and you're going to crease. You're going to make a line here on this side, on this piece of paper. Then you open it, you fold it. I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos, but this is going to be helpful. I didn't do my crease well enough, so let me line it up. Yes, that's nice now. And I hope you will do this better than I'm doing right now. Okay, you crease it well, and then you're going to put some tape here, and put something that is a good double-sided tape, because you don't want your box to open. Once this is done, I haven't put enough tape on this side. Okay. Once this is done, you're going to fold it back on this little flap here. Okay. Now you've got this. We're going to start the fold. I'm maybe going to put it this way. Yeah, that's, otherwise it was upside down. So there's something very important here. You can't make this part here, you can't do the fold here, which is going to make this bottom part bigger than 1/3 of your total length of paper, which means that, I just eyeball it, but this is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I can't fold here wider or bigger than 1/3 because these two signs are going to match. They're going to lap over each other and it's not going to work. I've done this mistake many times, so you can't make the fold here again 1/3 bigger than your paper. So I'm just eyeballing it here, and I know that it's going to work pretty well. And my box is going to be quite short here. You see, my box is going to go from here to here. Well, a little bit over, but about here to here. So I'm going to fold here very well again. And there's two ways of doing this. I usually like to crease it this way before. I think it helps my paper. So this was what I'm going to do here. I'm going to crease it this way. And I just come here, make a right angle here, and I crease it. You don't maybe have to do this step. I just think that sometimes it's easier for the next one. Then you open it again, and I'm going to go a little closer. Then you open your paper, and then you're going to do this. I think it really helps a lot because these two fold lines, I hope you can see them, have to meet this one here. Crease again. And then you're going to fold here. So what I like to do, because I don't want to lose this width, is I'm going to go a little over this line here, just a little bit over. And there are no measurements here required. And then I'm going to overlap it here again. Like what I'm trying to do here, more or less, is trying to always keep in mind this, okay? Have kind of the angle here matching with this line. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the better you match it, the end result is going to be better. It's not matching perfectly, but it's fine. And you're going to put your glue here. So what I like to do here, not to put the glue too far, I just put my finger where my lap is, and I know I can put glue here all the way along. Now I can fold it back, make sure it bonds, and that's it. I'm not going to open it right now. Now I'm gonna take care of the signs. And here, this point here needs to match. If it doesn't match this part, it needs at least to match this part here. I hope you can see it. It needs to match this fold here. So you bring it there. Okay. And you can make a right angle. It needs to line up perfectly here. And now you can make your fold. You go back and you do the same thing on the other side. That's another important step. Okay? Okay, now we're going to do the same thing here. Lined up this part to this part here. Trying not to overlap it, just like this. Being straight here, and now I can crease it. Do the same thing on the other side. And now we can open our little bag like this. And by the way, if you want to put a little piece of cardboard here inside of it, that would be a nice thing to do to reinforce your bag. And now this line here, you need to bring it into the middle like this. Okay, this is why folding on both sides was helpful, to bring it in the middle. Okay, so this is why putting a little piece of paper, you just need to trace your box here on a piece of paper. It can be white or any color. Cut it, put it inside. It's going to really reinforce your little bag. And now the main part of your bag is closed. I mean, it's done. Now you can decorate as you want. You could leave it as is. Just put two little holes here and put a ribbon. What I like to do, because I don't like when it's too plain like this, I like to take deckled edge scissors, for example like these, and or maybe this one. I hope it's going to cut, because they're for kids and sometimes they don't want to cut in some papers. So let's try. Yeah, it's doing not too bad in these two layers because this paper is quite thin. And there we go. Yeah, kind of like it. It gives a little more something. You could maybe use some nicer ones. I'm just doing this quickly for the video, but that's fine. And then what you can use, I use my crocodile here. And of course I forget it, so let's here. And depending on the ribbon, you want to make small or bigger holes. That really doesn't matter. Let me push this a little bit further in. Does it want to go? Yeah. Let's see. And I eyeball it. You know, you do what you feel better with, more comfortable. And then put a little piece of ribbon. So let's do this. I usually like to work on the spool because I don't waste that much ribbon afterwards. Put it back through here. And I don't know why, when I make my bows with ribbon, I succeed better when I do them upside down. I don't know. I know that I'm not the only one here, but it makes them really look nice when I do them upside down. Now I can cut this piece here. And then play a little bit with it in order to make it look nicer. And what I usually like to do, because it's a bit straight, I don't like the way it is, but that's the quality of my ribbon. I usually put a little glue dot on the back so you don't see it, nobody can see it, and I just stick these two pieces downwards so it doesn't look too, that's even better. But yeah, putting a little bit of glue dot behind makes it look nicer. So this can be a very simple bag, but it's really nice, and depending on your pattern paper, if it is one, it's going to look gorgeous. So this is the width of my box, and you see here it's about, if I stretch it, it's about the same here. It's normal, okay? So it's quite a fairly big box here that I have. You can make it bigger if this is bigger. Now I want to show you a different way to do this, and it's by doing some decorations just on the top. This method is not the one exactly I'm going to show you. I'm going to do something a little better because I just here glued some paper at the end because I forgot to do this in the beginning, so I'm going to show you. This is if you're using some pattern, some just white plain paper, and you want to do something nice on the top, because I think it's really elegant. This is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to take a piece of paper, and it doesn't matter again the size. I'm just going to give it to you in order to see how it's going to be, and I'm going to give you the measurements for this one as well. So this was a 6 by 12, and the box I have now is about 4.5 inches by 1 3/4 here. This is the depth. So I said 4.5 by 4.5. Obviously this one is almost a square, So it's a good box for half a sheet of paper. This sheet here is about a little over 11.5, so I'm going to cut it down to 11 because that's usually the size, the letter size in the United States. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit. This is more a A4 size. It doesn't matter. I just want to give you an idea on how the box is going to look like. So, before doing, let me see, yeah, we're going to do this first. So, we're going to do the same steps as before, and you may not see very well. I'm going to use another piece of paper here. I'm going to use the same one. Yeah, because otherwise we're not going to be able to see anything. What I'm going to do here is do the same steps, okay? I'm going to leave a blank, and I can do this with my fingers because it's really not a heavy paper. And I'm going to do my same lines. This is always the same steps you'll have to do. Okay, and I'm going to fold this in. Okay, but before gluing it, what you will want to do here is take a piece of paper, any other color. So I'm going to take this one, just, it's maybe not the best color, but it's just an example. And you will have to decide first how much you want here to see. So let's say that I want to have like maybe just an inch for this example, and you want to add at least half an inch to put inside it. It's easier. I think it looks nicer because when you open it here, you'll still have a little piece of paper, this pattern paper inside, and I think the look of it is nicer than just having it here. So I said, how much did I say? I said about an inch, or I'm gonna do an inch and a half, and just a half an inch to go in the inside. So 2 inches, and then I'll have to measure here from this piece here. Let me go backwards. From this piece here to this piece here, because this is going to be glued down, so I don't want to measure this part. So here it's about 11 1/4. So I'm going to cut 11 1/4, and maybe you want to do in 2 pieces. If you don't have this big piece of paper, you could stop here. It's totally fine. This is maybe what I'm going to have, because how much do I have? A little 11 1/2. Let me see, do I have it? No, so I'm going to do half part. So I'm going to change my measurements. I'm just going to measure from here to here, and since it was 11 1/2, it might be like 5 and 5 3/4. Okay, so this, I'm going to do this twice, 5 3/4. I'm going to cut it here by, I said 2 inches. Okay, and I'm going to fold, because I said I wanted to fold at half an inch. So I'm going to make a fold here. Okay, this is going to go in my box, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So normally here I've got 5 3/4 by 2 inches, and I'm going to make my fold at 1 1/2. But the measurements I give you are just to give you an idea. You don't have to follow these. If you want this to be bigger, like this one might be a little bigger. No, it's the same. Oh, you see, I didn't even count. I just kind of wanted to do it this way. And now we're going to stick it in. It's better to do this before putting your box together, because otherwise it's going to be harder to do it. So once you've done your fold, you're going to put the tape here inside this piece there. And also on the other part, but this little part is going to go on the inside, and you want to put tape here everywhere. Okay, now that this is done, I am just trying to align it as best as I can. And I am going to fold this. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other piece. And of course you will use papers that coordinate better. I'm just using this, so I'm sure you can see it well on the camera. Let me do it this way now. No, I prefer it this way. I don't know why. I am just going to align this right here. Nope. Trying to play with the lights. I think that's good. And I've got a little gap here. I'm not going to bother with this right now, okay, because it's going to be the folded part. So that's good. Now that this is done, I can put my glue here, like I've done before. And this is going to be the top of my bag. Okay? And you could also use your stamps here to do some decorations if you wanted to, but since I've got a printed paper here, I think that doing something plain is nicer, and you could do, of course, the opposite. And then I can do my folds as much as I want here. I'm going to make it this one like this, fold it back, do the same thing here, and it's really fast, and I like to do that, to do my own, because I can really make it the size I need. So easy. And if you print your own paper, you can do it the same way too. You see that, how easy it is and quick, and very few measurements, and that's what I like. I don't want to fuss too much. So it's ending here. I'm putting my tape. That's good. Make sure everything bonds well. Then I fold this back here, and that's going to be a little harder now because I've got these other layer, so it's going to be a little tougher to do to crease it well, but you can make it. You can make it, because here there's even more on this little top here because it's inside. Crease it on the other way. Do the same thing here, trying to really line up this piece to the fold there. The other way. I didn't fold this well enough, so that's really important. Okay, and now we can open our little baggie. That's normal. There it is, and we need to push this one here inside. I hope I was not all too much out of camera here. And fold it. And there you have your little bag. And I think it makes it look a bit nicer than what we have done before. It's just a matter of what you prefer, what you like best. And of course here you could also make a little design and use your decollage scissors also here if you wanted to. I mean, there's so many possibilities. And then I can just keep it that way, put a little bow here, and look how nice. How nice is this one? You don't really close it shut, but you could. You could use an eyelet here to close it here just behind your knot. That would be something nice. But look how nice. Two same papers. I just forgot to, this was upside down, but it doesn't matter. And the look of it is quite different. But I still like it very much. And again, here you can close it with some a little eyelet you could put here on the back. And I think it's cute, very simple. Now the last one I'm going to show you is how so if you wanted to do this here, you just have to put 2 holes and put here your ribbon. Very easy to do. It's just another way of shutting and closing your box. What I would like to show you is this one, although it would have been nicer on this piece here. I should have cut it here a little bit. It's not, I didn't do it perfectly, but this is done with construction paper, and it's not the best paper because it rips really a lot. So this is not the best, but I'm going to show you how you do that. It's very simple. So I'm going to use this one here. It's a scrap piece of paper. I haven't totally put together yet, so I'm going to do it very quickly. Okay, I'm going to pause this just a second. I'm going to make the box because I think you understood how to make it, and I'm just going to show you how you can make this decoration. It's very quick. I'll come back just right now. Okay, I'm back, and it's just started to rain, and it's pouring, so I hope you won't hear the thunder too much, and there's lightning, and my goodness, it is so much. Anyway, so also what I like about this project is that you can just stack them up. Once your box is done, or your bag, you just fold it, and you can stack them up. It's not going to take any space. Look at that. Really thin, stack them up, done. And this is what I'm going to do with this one. Stack it up, and then it will be ready for any kind of present I want to put inside. So the decoration I wanted to show you here. Once you've got your bag done, it doesn't matter if it's open or closed, but you just need to do an accordion style here. It's going to shorten your box, so take this in mind, have this in mind. It's going to shorten down your box because you're going to have to do like 4 or 5 folds here to make it look nice. So crease them well, really well every time. And here the width of it is just up to you what you want to do. The bigger, the shorter your box is going to be. And I need to put my glasses on here. And you're going to do the same thing there. So that makes 2. I'm going to do it a 3rd time here. I usually do 5 times, but we're going to see what it does with 4. And I try to line it up the best I can. So that makes 4. So you see, it took quite a lot of your box. Now your box is as big as this, and it's not that big it used to be. And yes, obviously I have to do a 5th time. So I'm going to fold it a 5th time here. Really well. And now you're going to, this side is not going to be, it's not going to be the nicest side. Put it this way. Okay? And then what you have to do is just like fold it in the middle, crease it a little bit in the middle, so you can join here more or less these 2 pieces. This is what I like to do before really folding it. Okay, and this is how it's going to look like. It's not going to stay like this very well. That's not the purpose of it. But once it's really well done, what I like to do here is just I use the crocodile, use whatever you have, and I like to make a hole just in here. I hope you can see it. So I'm using my crocodile and making a hole. I take all these pieces on the other side and I try to make a hole in the middle here. Okay, so now I'm going to take a ribbon. Since I have the orange one here, I'm going to use this. I'm going to push my ribbon through here. And of course I did it on the wrong side, but that doesn't matter. I will, let me see, how can I do it a little different? I know, I need to make another hole here. Okay, I'm going to do another hole. One more. So this will be in the back, just a little hole on the front, so I don't see this part that is not as nice. I'm going to avoid to see this, okay? Oof. Did you hear that? That's a big one. Okay, I'm gonna make a knot here. And I said upside down. This is a bit too big for me. And now I can cut this here. And you can always come back and fold it a little better, and it'll be nicer when this will be filled with something. And if you really wanted to have it shut here, you should put some double-sided tape, but I like it just the way it is that way. And I think it really makes something nice, something that not everybody is going to offer, because not a lot of people do this kind of stuff. And it's really pretty. Okay, I really think it has something different, and it's very, I don't know, I like this, very girly. I really appreciate that. So I think packaging are very important. It's not only what's inside, but also the outside, because you took some time making something nice for someone. So let me zoom back. Let me show you everything I've done here. Look at this cutie. I really like it, this one. And make your own tags with whatever leftover paper you have. I really think it's nice. You can do these any size you want and personalize them if you want to print your own paper. And this is going to be useful. I can't remember if I said this in the beginning of my video, but I would like to show you next time this technique, these little bags for kids' decoration for Christmas. Something you will be to do with them, or just leave them alone doing it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And don't be afraid of leaving comments. I always answer. See you very soon. Bye-bye. Take care.